You talking your shit, then I'm busting your lip. I am a vibe, I'm a wavy little bitch. Fuck what you think, bitch, your hair look like shit.
What's poppin', Cloud Babies? Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Dream, and I'm about to go. It's your girl Dream, and I'm back again with another video. So today we're gonna be talking about what was my experience as a dancer, what did I do, how was auditions, how much money did I make, what happened, why I don't dance no more, why I started dancing, etc. Let's get started with the video. Wait, so first things first, I did want to update y'all on my COVID results. A nigga does not have COVID. I never did. It was negative. My results came back negative, so I don't really know why I couldn't taste or why I couldn't smell. My mom did tell me, like, it's probably a common cold. She's the first person to tell me that, but you know me. And literally, I always say this, like, I am divinely protected. I cannot catch COVID. I can't catch anything. I can't. It's something about the dream. Think I'm crazy if you want to think I'm crazy, but I know what the fuck I'm talking about. I also been reading a lot of the comments in my previous video where I was talking about my crush or whatever. I think I'm actually finna meet him today, and we are gonna film that Q&A for you guys, but you know, I wanted to make this video first. What really drove me into the strip club was that I had a lot of money due in bills, and I only had like 2 or 3 days to like collect this money. So I had just moved into my apartment, so I was not letting shit flop. Like, I had just got my shit together and everything. There was no possible way I was about to miss any bills with my rent. And at the time, I did have a 9 to 5, and I worked at Buffalo Wild Wings, and bitch, that job there, I'm not even gonna speak on it. There happened to be this other girl that I actually used to work with, like, at a whole different place. She also got hired at the same Buffalo Wild Wings. We gonna call this girl 2 times. And so this girl, she's seen a familiar face, and so did I, so she just starts talking to me. We were never really friends or anything, but she just seen a familiar face, so she just starts talking to me about the job and just like asking me questions. How does it go, and how much money were we getting? So a month goes by, and bitch, I am not making a bitch ass coin at the location that I am at. Like, at this point, I am struggling after a month. Like, I literally wanted to pull my hair out my scalp. Like, I really didn't know what was the next step for me. I was like, fuck, like, and dancing is not something that ever even crossed my mind. Like, I was not raised like that. I was not around that when I was younger. I was not, you feel me? Like, it's not something that, because I grew up in a very religious household back in Spain. Like, I went to church and everything. My grandma was always there to talk about Jesus and God. And like, have y'all ever had that feeling where, like, you know, a lot of bills are due, and like you owe a lot of money, like, on a certain date? Like, you see the date coming, and bitch, you don't have it. Like, you literally looking left, right, diagonal, up, down. Where is it gonna come from? So I was at that state, very stressed, very, girl. This restaurant, like, the reason why I wasn't making a lot of money is because the restaurant was sectioned in like different little sections, literally. Before anybody's shift, the managers would write the floor plan out and put your name like by the section that you were gonna work in throughout the day. So they literally had so much favoritism going on, and y'all already know your girl was not one of the favorites, bitch. I never did like working. I don't like following rules. I don't like people telling me what to do. I don't like being bitched around. I just like working so much. It's just not for me. Like, it's cool if you want to work a 9 to 5, if you want to, you know, build somebody else's empire, but that shit was never something that ran through my head. Like, I think I got fired out of every single job I had except my first job ever. And I only left that job because I moved states. Yeah, I don't like people telling me what to do. I don't like following their dumbass rules. Bitch, it's just not for me. Even in real life, like, I have to do my own thing. Like, it's just something about being bitched around that doesn't sit well with me at all. Like, I can't, no. And so one of the days, you know, like I said, a month goes by, and me and 2 times we're talking. We were literally talking about nothing that has to do with my life situation, like my struggles or me pulling my hair out my scalp, because, bitch, I'm not about to make rent and all my other bills. We were not talking about none of that. In the midst of us talking, she just starts to get loose, and she starts to tell me, like, you know, she used to dance like a couple of years back, but she had to stop because, you know, she went to rehab and things like that. She told me that this job wasn't it, and that she was finna say fuck it and go back to the club. And you know me, like, I'm just looking at her like, what you mean a club? Like, she's like, dance. I used to dance. I'm like, oh, okay. I had never met like a real stripper before that. Feel me? Now, my stupid ass, me intrigued as fuck. I just get to asking her questions like, how does it go? How does the audition go? How much money she made? Just all types of shit like that, but never with the intention of me actually wanting to go inside of the club, like to actually work. You know what I'm saying? Come in. Especially if y'all knew me back then. I was just so stuck in my box and just so private. I'm like that now, but back then was like 60,000 times worse. Which ain't nothing wrong with it. That's just the way I was. Like, dancing wasn't something that ever even reached my imagination for me to do. Can't stress this enough. I know I keep saying the same shit over and over, but I just wish y'all knew like me and my mentality set back then. Like I mentioned previously, I was raised in a very religious Catholic home back in Spain. So those are things that it just wasn't normal. Whatever, as I'm asking her questions and things like that, she's like, oh, well, I actually have a cousin that works here too, and she's gonna come with me this weekend and try it out. Like, you should come join us. I'm just like, bitch, you mean like at the club? Like, you want me to go strip, bitch? You know me, hell nah, I'm not going to no strip club to take bitch to do what? To do what? What can I possibly do at the strip club? And I told her, hell nah, and I literally went about my business. I continued working. All three of us was on the clock, literally, that day. We serving my little tables or whatever, and while I'm serving my tables, I'm like, you know what? I'm having a real impulsive thought, right? I'm having a real impulsive thought. I'm like, what's the worst that could happen? Me not make any money. I'm also like contradicting myself like a bitch because I'm like, no, I can't do this. Like, I'm gonna just be taking my clothes off in front of men. Like, bitch, like my morals, like what the fuck, who raised me? This is not something that, no. It just came to shove. Push came to shove, and I needed the money, and nobody was going to do it for me. Nobody was going to give me the money that I needed. Nobody was going to give me a new job, like, right then and there. And back then, I had just got out of college, so I just had that one job. Like, it was not, bitch, any other job that I tried to get, like, it would have been of that same nature, and I was going to still continue getting paid the same shit that I was getting paid. Like, and it just wasn't it. And even if I did find a job, like, I'm not gonna get paid in 3 days. I'm not gonna be able to pay my shit for 3 days. Like, this push came to shove. I don't give a fuck when anybody says. Nobody was there to help me. Nobody was there for me. Nobody, nothing. So I was there for myself. And at the end of my shift, you know, I sure did go up to 2 times. And I was like, listen, I think I'm gonna go and I'm gonna try it out with y'all this weekend because I need the money. And I asked her the same questions that I asked her at the beginning of the shift. I asked her again at the end of the shift. And then I asked her again the next morning. Then I asked her again right before auditioning. It was chaos in my head because this was such a big thing for me to do. Like, I keep saying it because I don't think y'all understand how I used to be. I don't think y'all get it. It was like this. You know, the day comes and I'm at 2 times cousin house. We all fixing ourselves. I'm doing my hair, I'm doing my makeup. They doing their hair, they doing their makeup, you know. Took a shower, found us like a little dance outfit. We went to Bourbon Street. I used to live in New Orleans. This is where I danced at. If I didn't say it at the beginning, I used to live in New Orleans. I lived in that bitch for like 4 years. And that same morning, that's when we went to go buy our outfits. So they had like buku stripper stores on Bourbon. It's not really a lot. It's actually 2, I lied. Yeah, then we went home and that's when we started to get ready. While we getting ready, you know, 2 times is trying to get me and her cousin lit as fuck. Like, she trying to give us drinks and like jello shots, bitch. Like, we having a blast while we getting ready. We playing the music. We feeling our bad bitch energy, you feel me? As I'm feeling my bad bitch energy, I'm also feeling my stupid bitch energy. I'm like, oh my God, I don't think I'm gonna do this. I don't think I'm gonna go no more. I don't think this is for me. I think, bitch, I'ma just suck it up and take this L. Hell no. I don't think, I hate taking L's. We don't take L's over here. We take L's lessons, but no losses, okay? Now we driving in the car. We all lit as fuck. We playing the music, whatever. We get back to Bourbon Street because that's where the club was. It's like a whole strip of fucking strip clubs or whatever. Walk our happy asses on the strip. Go inside the club, and she introduces me and her cousin to like management and shit like that. Management already knew her from years ago, and he was like, oh yeah, you got some pretty women here. They probably don't even got an audition. They hired. Like, I remember, bitch, I stepped. I look cute, and so did her cousin. Her cousin's actually still my friend up until this day. I am not friends with 2 Times anymore. I was never really friends with 2 Times. She just introduced me to that world. Me and her cousin actually ended up becoming friends. She has a baby now, my little godchild. I got a white god baby, and he's so cute. I'm not officially the godmom yet, but I am taking my happy ass to New Orleans so we can make it official. Love you, Tess. But bitch, so we get inside the audition room. Oh, babe, just text me. We get inside the locker room, and then there's just bitches everywhere, bitch, getting butt-ass naked. Like, they don't give a fuck. Bitch, I was always a private bitch. I didn't even get naked in front of my sisters when I was younger. So it's not even in front of my mom. So for me to just, like, go in one locker room, in a big ass locker room, and then there's just bitches naked every left and right, bitch, you want me to take my clothes off too? That was already a lot for me in my head. Call it whatever the fuck you want, but that's how I was. Even up until this day, even after dancing, I am less shy, like if somebody was to see me, like a female bitch, but I still don't change in front of my girlfriends or like in front of a nigga, like things like that. Like I don't, unless you're my nigga, of course, then what the fuck do I have to think about? But I don't really put my clothes on and take my clothes off in front of people or use the bathroom in front of people, or it's just not, I don't know. Me and this girl cousin just go all the way in the corner or whatever, and we start to take off our clothes and we start putting on our dancer clothes or whatever, and it's time to audition. So 2 Times take us downstairs, you feel me? And she take us like inside of the little DJ booth. He's like, okay, so who wants to go first? Who wants to go first? And I guess we was taking too long to like answer. So he was like, you just gonna go first. Hurry up, what's your name? Like figure out a name, a dance name, so I can introduce you and you can walk out on stage. And in my head, I'm like, hell nah, this bitch gotta go first. Like this bitch gotta first. He wasn't letting it happen. I literally said the first name that popped in my head. I was like, all right, fuck it, like just do this. You already here, bitch, you drunk, just go. He said the first thing that popped in my head. I'm not gonna say the name because bitch, I always say I don't want to say the name, and I'm not, and I won't. I just remember the bitch, my heart was like in my hands. Like my heart has jumped out of my body already at this point. Okay, I am lifeless inside. So I see the bitch that was dancing on stage right before I walked out. So as she was walking in, like behind the curtains, that's where me and 2 Times cousin was. The curtain right here, then there's the DJ booth and like, you know, like 2 or 3 chairs, like for the girls to get, the next bitch to get ready to go on stage. And then right here, this is the stage, like where everything is happening. This is the audience, da-da-da. So the bitch walks through the thing, and now it's my turn to walk out. So it was, I don't remember if it was 3 songs I auditioned to or 2. I'm not sure. I know in the first song, I didn't take my clothes off. It was just, everything was normal. I had on like this nude tight dress, and bitch, let's talk about the heels. The heels had me fucked up, like completely fucked up. I'm talking about, bitch, I was not the type of bitch that used to wear heels. Like, it's always sneakers with me. I still, up until this day, love sneakers, but now I can obviously walk in heels thanks to being a stripper. Back then, I don't even know why I put myself through that and I embarrassed myself in that way. I really just did it to myself. But I just remember walking to the other side of the curtain into the stage. There was a pole in the middle of the stage. And bitch, I was smirking. Like I was smiling a little bit. There was customers there and shit. And I get to walking around the pole because I didn't really know what to do. Like all I really ever saw strip club wise was whatever little snippets that I ever seen in a movie or something. The bitch just walk around and do some like shit like that and then it's done, right? No. So as I'm walking around the pole, bitch, I'm now grabbing onto the pole and I'm walking around it and I'm noticing, I'm like, whoa, like these heels, like how am I even supposed to dance with this shit on? Sure enough, if you were already thinking it, if you weren't, I'm finna tell you right now, bitch, I tripped. Like my foot went like that. Like, you know when you wear these shoes, we hate these too, by the way. You know when you wear these shoes and they go like that? If you know, you know. Only if you have a pair of these, you'll know what the fuck I'm talking about. Hate it so fucking much. That's exactly what happened. And bitch, I just laughed like on stage because what am I supposed to do? And the customers are just looking at me like, the fuck wrong with this bitch? I was so embarrassed, but I just kept it going. I just was moving slow. I did exactly what they were telling me to do. Like they basically told me before I went on stage to move move very slow movements. Don't do too much, you know, show off your face, you know, don't touch yourself too much. Just basically walk around the pole and things like that, and do a little, like, you know, if you want to grind a little bit or do your little dance, you could. But for auditions, you don't have to do that much. They really pretty much just checking your body out and checking your face out and seeing, like, can you serve, like, sexy? And, bitch, I don't know if I serve sexy. I obviously serve sexy if I got hired, or, bitch, I was pretty, or, bitch, it was something. But I ended up getting hired. The second song, though, I had to actually take off my dress. It was a topless club, but it wasn't a club where you took off your underwear. Like, you were supposed to take off everything in the second song except your bottoms. It was the part that killed me the most, bitch, because that's just something that, bitch, I'm getting naked on this stage and there's people, like men, like grown-ass men here watching. I don't even know how I did it, if you ask me, because when I tell you something had to take over my body, because it was not me. That's not something that I could do. Bitch, I did it. I did. Took off my dress, continued serving sexy, you know. I did make my little coins or whatever. Got off the stage. Management instantly was waiting behind the curtains and told me, bitch, you're hired. He didn't say bitch, but they told me, like, sure enough, like, I did great. I was hired. I'm like, I don't know if these niggas didn't see I motherfucking tripped, but I'm not even gonna say nothing. They was like, you can start working tonight, actually. And, bitch, same night, when I tell you I made all my rent money plus more, I was like, oh yeah, I don't have a job no more. Buffalo Wild Wings, 9 to 5. What is that? I can't relate. Is that a sauce? Maybe a seasoning. Maybe a TV show. Don't know. Yeah, bitch, I quit and I never looked back. I never had another 9 to 5 again in my life after that, until I moved here to Atlanta like a year ago. I attempted to work at Hooters for like a month, and it just didn't work. It's a job is still not for me. It's just not. So yeah, that was my experience being a stripper. Really not even being a stripper, but that was my first time ever dancing, and why I did it and how I did it. If y'all want to have more chit chats and shit about shit like this, like exactly what to do and what not to do in audition, what to always carry in your stripper bag, or what did I always carry at least. There's all types of stripper talks, whatever the fuck. Just let me know in the comments down below, because I'm always listening to you guys and always making content that you can relate to and that you asked for. Yeah, just let me know. Don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe. I love you guys so much, and I'm gonna see y'all in the next one. Bye.
I walk with a limp, bitch, and look at my hip. You talking your shit, then I'm busting your lip. I am a vibe, I'm a wavy little bitch. Fuck what you think, bitch, your hair look like shit.